Hello and welcome to this central podcast, A Little Coffee and a Whole Lot of Jesus. We're so glad to be with you guys today, and I'm in the wrong seat. We will talk about that in a second because I feel strange about this whole seat situation. But we have two very special people with us today, which is why I'm not in my normal seat, apparently. So it is my sister.
Yeah, and I got my way today. So he got to sit at the end, and I got to sit here. We got the best camera angles right here in the middle.
She walks in the room, and in 3 minutes, I got to change everything.
Put women on the end of the table. Every female, you know, we are all about our angles, and that is not acceptable. Okay.
Meanwhile, back to Ranch, I just want everybody to know how I'm feeling at this very moment.
It's really because he's not the center of attention today. Let's just be truthful with it.
It can't be that simple. Is it that simple? That can't be that simple.
Most of my life is putting Kendra at the center of it.
Wise man.
That was a great answer, sir.
We should have staying married and being happily married.
There you go.
For many. So how long? How long? Married 16?
16 years.
That's hard to believe. So this is Kendra Kelly Dean. I always say Kelly, and I'm sorry I can't help myself with that. That's just how it works.
It's okay.
And then this is also her husband, Dusty Dean.
Yeah, I'm Dusty Kelly Dean.
Exactly. Of course, you all know who Pastor Annette is sitting to my left. She's normally to my right, but we won't get to that right now. So we're just glad to have you guys here.
Thanks for letting us do this with you.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
This is fun.
We're having our Christmas week.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what we're doing?
It's been a fun week. We're going to go look at lights later today.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes, we are, in case you didn't know.
There's plans being made that I'm not aware of.
See, got it planned
more
out.
plans being made I'm not aware of. So this is great. Yes. I'm loving it completely, totally.
Well, it's the benefits of doing Christmas after Christmas. Yes. You know, you don't have to deal with all the crazy, but you still get all the fun stuff.
Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go along with that. Why not?
I like it.
Plus, things are on sale, too, after Christmas.
You agree with us?
Oh, completely. Why would I disagree at this point in time? I'm already off the edge of the table. I mean, I'm at the door in a few more minutes. This game keeps up, so I'm not no longer important anymore. But anyway, I'm just a lead pastor. No big deal. I'm just excited to be here with everyone today. And so let's talk about Heartland Church. You guys have been pastoring Heartland Church now you've been there a long time, all your life, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised at our church. And I tell people I'm 38. I've been at Heartland for 36. It's the only church I've ever known.
Wow, come on.
So I've been on staff for 20 years. In fact, this year is my 20th year
of cool.
full-time ministry, if you can believe that.
That's incredible, Dusty.
Yeah, so 36 years at this church, and Kendra's been with me for about 20 years at our church. So 2.5 years ago, we were installed as the lead pastors, really a little over 2 years ago, I guess. So,
November of 2019. That was really fun.
Yeah.
So we had a great celebration, and we were just ready to run. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
And then COVID happened.
Yes.
Yeah. So, that took a big kick and wind out of our sails. But, what was really cool about it is I really feel like it was kind of a privilege to go through what we went through, because I felt like God was kind of saying, you know what? I'm going to show you guys a lot of lessons that you might not have grasped until year 7 in this role right now in the first year.
Speed course.
And I think, it made our team better for it, made our church better for it. And,
well, it definitely was in our faces. There was no opportunity.
Yeah, you can't avoid it.
You can't avoid it. You're right in the middle of it. That's been a journey for all of us. We're still trying to. I mean, you guys are doing better than Texas. We're in Dallas, Texas, but the exact town is, I always forget. Carrollton. Dallas. It's just all Dallas to me. I don't know why I feel that way. But
about 15 minutes north of downtown is where we're at.
Yeah. So. Gorgeous area. Gorgeous place to be. Beautiful church. We've been there several times. I love y'all's front foyer. I'm so jealous of your front foyer.
He's a lot jealous.
I want the front foyer so bad. We have a hallway. You walk into here at Central Triad.
Very soon.
But we'll have one. And you guys built this beautiful baptismal tank out there.
Yes.
I mean, stunning. Just stunning.
Yeah, that baptismal, what it is it's a fountain feature. So it's a giant cross, probably about 25 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it features also as a fountain. And then we do baptisms in it. And it was built in honor of our founding pastor, Pastor Jack Dehart, who was my grandfather.
Yeah, Bishop Dehart.
And it's a really neat little way that we can honor the past and look towards the future.
And then you had this most important baptism not too long ago.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
We did. We got to baptize our daughter, Jaden.
Yeah, come on.
We had been talking to her for a couple of years, And maybe you're watching, you're thinking to yourself, how do I get my kids baptized? And we would just have conversations with her. We would teach her about it. And I would say to her, Jaden, I'm never going to pressure you to do this.
Yeah.
But I do want you to know what it is.
Right.
And I want you, if you ever want to do it, I want you to talk to us about it. And one particular day, she just kind of came to us and she said, it's my 10th birthday coming up. And I think I want to get baptized on my 10th birthday.
Which was on a Sunday.
Which was on a Sunday, our baptism Sunday.
She said, this isn't going to happen again for a long time. And I really feel like this is it. This is time.
Wow.
And so we made her tell us, okay, will you tell me why you want to be baptized? She had to be able to articulate it and understand the magnitude of it. Yeah. And she did very well. And so we just made a really big celebration. We had family come in town. We went to lunch, and that's what we always encourage parents to do is like make this like a big deal, you know, ask them what their favorite restaurant is and take them to lunch there afterwards and bring their friends, whoever. And it was really important to her that her cousins were all there. Yes. And so they were right there in the front cheering and praying and clapping. So cute. She went down and came back up.
Oh, we're in North Carolina. You're in Texas. So this moment's happening.
We were at the restaurant.
We're at a restaurant.
We get the call that the Skype was ready. And so we're like all holding on.
The camera?
I don't remember.
Someone held the camera there for us. And we're just restaurant.
Oh, Shay did
This is Sunday after, Sunday morning, afternoon, whatever. The restaurants are full. And so all of our group now is gathered around. We're standing up around the table.
Phone.
Around his little phone screen. My dad's phone, as we watch Jaden get baptized. And at this point in time, we're not even caring who else is watching us or not. Right. We're not even looking around.
Doesn't matter.
We're laughing about little things.
Crying,
little looks on her face, before she goes into the water, all kind of stuff, And then we're crying. And then we're like, whoa, we're just doing all the stuff. And everybody, we got done. We looked around, the whole room was like just watching us for some reason. And we totally forgot where we were, I guess. But that was we wanted to see that moment.
Yeah. And she wanted y'all to be witnesses. So we asked her, why don't you create an invitation list of who you want to be there? This is a big deal. Yeah. Right. And she said, I need to make sure that we FaceTime everyone in North Carolina. So
I think sure we don't celebrate little things enough. And not that baptism is a little thing, but I think one of our goals is to celebrate more, even the little wins and the little triumphs.
Embrace the
celebrate them, especially like baptism, like you mentioned. That's a great plan to have them invite their friends and take them out to a special lunch. You have to, what you want to duplicate, you have to talk about it and encourage that and celebrate it. And I just think that's a brilliant thing.
It was really fun because 3 other kids in her class at the church have now been baptized.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
So it kind of triggered this really cool ripple effect.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was so cute. The little cousins standing there, they were so excited and cheering her on. And of course, we were just bawling even more. Yeah. And then with our Central kids here this year, we've had a bigger number of kids getting baptized too.
10 kids this year.
That's so great.
That's 12 and under.
Under 12 years of age. And they're coming out of our classes on Sunday morning wanting to know, can I get baptized? Can I get baptized?
One of the cutest stories is we had been talking with one of our little members. I guess he's probably 6 or 7. He kept saying he wanted to be baptized. And we're like, okay, talk to your parents. And when you're ready, we'll talk about it again. Yeah. So they come in the hospitality suite one Sunday after service. And they're like, okay, tell them. And he goes, I want to get baptized. And they're like, okay, but you're supposed to tell him something else. He was supposed to announce that he was going to be a big brother.
Oh,
but he was so excited about getting the baptism. That's awesome. And then he was like, that too.
I got a brother.
This is going to happen.
It's no big deal, but I'm getting baptized.
It's so sweet.
That's the thing we're supposed to talk about.
So sweet.
That's it.
That's so awesome.
Well, what we like to do with kids like that too, we'll ask them why.
Yes.
I want to hear your explanation. Why do you think you want to be baptized? And when they can give you some kind of an answer that they comprehend, and
Absolutely.
They comprehend why.
Yes.
Then there's no reason to withhold that. I remember when I was baptized, I was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that day. I still remember that moment.
Me too.
It was weird. It was, I fell off the stool, off the chair, went down in the water, upside down. My dad had to drag me up. I had a little onesie. I was too little for the baptist. They put a chair down.
A jumper, probably.
It was a jumper. That's a onesie.
Onesie. Wrong visual.
Tells you
he still wears onesies to this day.
My clothing repertoire. So I slipped off the chair. Dad was baptized. I slipped off. I went to the bottom. I went straight down. And so he pulls me out of the water by my hind. He picked me up by the butt of my pants and raised me up. So I came up upside down out of the water.
Oh my gosh.
And was just talking in tongues the whole time. I had no clue. I even went down to the bottom.
Was that in Brownwood?
No, that was in Nebo, Louisiana.
So wait, let me get this straight. You're like bungeeing up out of the water and you're just hanging, speaking in tongues, huh?
Yes, the whole time.
That's a spiritual man right there.
Remember, we mentioned
important moments,
center of attention. It's always been that way.
Gotta do it different. It's gotta do it different.
I'll never forget it.
It's so cool about baptism. And I know that there are a lot of different viewpoints on baptism. And once you get baptized, and that's it, move along next. But you've had a really cool experience and encounter whenever, you've been baptized a couple of times. Yeah. Whenever we were in Austin and there was a big spiritual movement going and a lot of things were happening and we got rebaptized. It was pretty incredible. Yeah. But then you also got to baptize both of our kids and you ended up rebaptizing yourself in the process, because, it's an amazing
water with them.
Physical reminder of a fresh start.
It is.
And I love that.
Yeah, I remember that because you guys were in Alameda and I came to visit y'all. And I don't know, I might have been 21, 22, something like that. And you actually baptized me again.
Because, that's right. I remember that now.
And because I got baptized, I was probably 6 or 8, somewhere around that time. And that's sweet and tender and precious, but it is a whole different experience whenever you're an adult and you've experienced some real pain and loss and healing and
what
victories.
sin is.
You understand it, right? Yeah. And so I remember it just felt like this completely different experience when I went under and then I came up. Yeah. And I grasped the concept of I'm new. Yeah. I'm fresh. Yeah. Like I'm re-giving my commitment, you know, not turning back, not living in the past. Right. I'm moving forward. So you're right. It can be a wonderful new experience as an adult.
It's been really cool to experience that as adults. I know different transitions in our lives. We have been in situations like that and we're not discounting the first time you were baptized or anything of that nature. But to me, it kind of bolsters your confidence in your faith that it's the same God. Right. And we were doing a baptismal service before, and one of our girls on the praise team, she was like, okay, I want to get rebaptized, but I need to be last. And we're like, well, why do you need to be last? She's like, because you're going to have to drain that tub when you're done with me to get all that washed off. And we're like, no. He loves you too much for that, but we'll do it whenever you're ready to do it.
It's a wonderful, it's the greatest thing you can do in this walk with Christ. It's beginning this becoming new in Him, taking on the name of Jesus. Yeah. It's a powerful thing. And even at 6, I wouldn't forget it. But like I said, I was rebaptized just because I wanted to experience it as an adult.
As an adult.
What did that feel like, right? And so it was powerful. It was a Promised Land church. So long story short, you go under the water, like you said, everything goes dead silent.
Yeah, it did.
It's like,
it did too.
You hear all the noise, all the worship going on, music, and then the rush of the water going past you. You come up out of the water, you feel it moving, and back to the celebration of worship. Mm-hmm. And it was just powerful.
We talked about our baptismal in our lobby. It's one of my favorite places to go. Yeah, I actually enjoy being at the church at nighttime. It's kind of like, I love that. Mm-hmm. Maybe because I was left there so many times as a child. So
she's the baby of the family.
Maybe that's why, I knew they'd come back eventually. But that fountain, like Dusty was saying, it has the cross. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is, so where the water is, when you turn it on, it ripples down this stone into a bottom, like a moat kind of thing at the bottom of it. And I love praying in front of that.
Oh, yeah. The sound of the water.
And it's like it echoes. And when you're in that space in the lobby and you hear the water coming down the stones, it honestly sounds like multiple conversations happening at one time.
Nice.
And it's like, because I'm kind of like my brother. I can get lost in a deep thought, But for me, it's like hearing all the voices of they went down and that past was erased. Yeah. Their commitment is new. They come up saying, I am yours. And I want everyone to know that I belong to you, Jesus. And hearing that conversation and the water ripple effect coming down. So.
I had a vision years ago about a baptism, and it looked a lot like what you guys built. And so I'm looking forward to building that one day.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see it. But
Dusty, what was your experience like when you were baptized?
Well, my experience is one that I never wanted my kids to have. I was actually I was a pastor's kid, so I was very nervous. I was 13 when I got baptized. And by that time, I had felt like I probably should have done it already. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't. And so I actually felt a lot of shame about not being baptized yet. And so I only wanted my baptism to have a few people. It wasn't done in what I would call a rite. It's actually one of the reasons why I really teach on it a lot today, because I want people to understand what it is. Mm-hmm. I wanted my child to understand. And I think even Jaden was going through those emotions of feeling pressure. So I never wanted her to feel pressured into doing something. And I think parents, out of good intentions, we have to trust the Lord that he's going to speak to our children about their baptism. I think every person needs a meaningful baptism experience in their life. And I use the word meaningful because I think some parents probably preemptively pushed their kids into doing something that they didn't really know what they were doing or that they wanted to do. And so we made sure that Jaden knew what it was and that she wanted it, for it to happen. And so, I'm thankful that I was baptized, but I look back on it, I feel like it was a religious experience done out of duty rather than a joyful experience done out of delight. And that's what I want for people, is to have that kind of an experience. Yes. And we just really try to teach that. So
that's wonderful. And not everyone brings up that. We all grew up very religious. There's no question about that. So I understand when you say that, I get exactly what you're talking about. For those who are watching, maybe you can't understand that. But when you grew up a certain way, surrounded by certain peoples, you feel the pressures.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can see that without question. So, it's got to be life. It's got to be something you really want.
That's right.
It's got to be what you want.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it works.
Every time in scripture that you see people being baptized, they weren't doing it out of coercion. Mm-mm. They were doing it because they joyfully wanted to follow Jesus and wanted to follow what he had for their life. And that's why I want people to do it, is because it's a great experience. I think if you teach that, people will long for it and want it. And
so
well, we didn't really have a topic to start off on this particular episode, but now we know it was about baptism. We didn't know that, right? Now we know it was. And so if you want to get baptized, please, every Sunday morning we're here. We're always ready to baptize you, and we're so thankful to be a part of your lives. We'll catch you again on the other side of this. Thanks for being with us here at Central Triad Church. We transform lives, produce disciples.
Oh, great. Good change. Yes.
And we impact the world. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.